Hey y'all, my name is Sarah Morgan, and today I will be presenting on climate change and its effects on the country of Portugal. So an introduction, Portugal is located on the Iberian Peninsula of the western part of Europe. Surrounding Portugal to the east is Spain, and to the west is the Atlantic Ocean. The majority of the western and southern border of Portugal is water, and because of this, the climate is influenced by the Atlantic Ocean, Mediterranean Sea, and continental weather. Thus, the annual rainfall is over 40 inches per year. It is also typically a drier climate in the south and a wetter climate in the north. In regards to the social aspects of Portugal, the government is a democratic republic in which they have presidential elections every 5 years and a parliament. Economically, their largest trading partners include countries within the European Union and the United States. Some evidences of climate change are that although Portugal is typically a wet climate, the past 30 years have been drier than usual. In addition to this, 2005 was the driest year in 78 years, with 2007 being the second driest year and then 2004. This has also caused extreme weather changes with droughts in the drier southern part of Portugal and extreme flooding to the north. These events have caused dying fish in marine wildlife in the south and an inability to use hydroelectric power. This has also in turn caused less frequent precipitation, but when precipitation events do occur, it is more catastrophic with extreme flooding. Some current impacts include the north and northeast winds bringing warm, dry air in the summer months, around 900 millimeters of annual rainfall, and 42% of this annual precipitation occurs in the winter from December to February. However, precipitation often varies in transition seasons like spring and fall. It is also difficult to predict temperature trends throughout the country as seasons and climate change changes so rapidly. Some future impacts include expected temperatures to rise between 3 to 7 degrees Celsius during the summer season. According to Climate Change Research and Policy in Portugal, Portugal's climate is expected to increase frequency and intensity of heat waves, and Lisbon is expected to increase average temperature from 28 degrees Celsius to 34 degrees Celsius. Portugal is also expected to have fewer cold spells, and nighttime temperatures are expected to increase, which will make it more difficult for citizens to recover from daytime sun and heat. As for mitigation and adaptation, in order to mitigate the effects of climate change, Portuguese leaders and government officials have signed several forms of policy and agreements like the Kyoto Protocol, the Iberia Change Project in conjunction with Spain, and the Burden Sharing Agreement. The Iberia Change Project is meant to reverse the effects of forest fires and decreased biodiversity throughout the peninsula, and the Burden Sharing Agreement allowed Portugal to increase emissions by 27% from 1990, the baseline year, to 2012. This was created in order to compensate for different national levels in the European Union. For the future, Portugal aims to create 39% renewable electricity generation from things like wind power, biofuels, and increase efficiency in buildings, public transportation, etc. They also plan to implement a carbon tax on non-energy efficient light bulbs. As for adaptation, according to the Center for Climate Change Adaptation, there are, quote, weaknesses in adaptation participation. However, they are continuing to promote public participation, intervention along the coastlines, and continued work towards meeting the Kyoto carbon dioxide emissions targets. And here are my sources for all my research. And that's it. Thank you all so much for watching.